Before we dive in, here's another show you can enjoy in the True Story FM family of entertainment podcasts. Ever wonder what bridges the gap between your favorite film genres, subgenres, and movements? CinemaScope is here to explore these connections, taking you on a thrilling odyssey through the ever-evolving art of cinema. I'm your host, Andy Nelson, and in each episode, we embark on a deep dive into the forces that sculpt the world of film. From the styles you know and love, like heist films or the French New Wave, to the ones you may not be as familiar with, like Turkish Yeşilçam or Brazilian Nordwesterns, my expert guests and I unravel the complex tapestry of storytelling, style, and innovation that defines the world of film as we unpack the myriad catalysts of change that shape these diverse styles. Whether you're a student of film, a creative professional, or simply a devoted movie enthusiast, CinemaScope is your gateway to a richer, more immersive film experience. Don't just watch movies, understand them, appreciate them, and revel in their artistry with CinemaScope. Subscribe today.
Well, howdy folks, my name is Lester Ryan Clark.
And I'm Keenan Diaz.
And we're the hosts of The Exorcist Minute, a show where we examine, extrapolate, and excavate the scariest movie of all time.
Each episode covers a single minute of William Friedkin's 1973 horror masterpiece, The Exorcist.
If you like deep dives, this show is the deepest.
Did you know the film's iconic theme song, Tubular Bells, wasn't written specifically for the movie?
Or that the 1973 audience members were throwing up and fainting in the theater before they ever got a glimpse of the demon?
Or what about all the crazy on-set mishaps, cast injuries, the director firing real guns?
Ooh. Ever wonder where Ouija boards came from or how they got their name? How about some history on the Catholic Church or the Roman rite of exorcism? Or maybe we can tempt you with some juicy demonology lore. Did you know that Pazuzu had an ex-wife? Find The Exorcist Minute on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to your shows or at theexorcistminute.com. Until next time, folks,
the power of The Exorcist compels you.
Hello and welcome to Gank
That
Drank, a supernatural drinking game podcast. It's the podcast where we play along with drinking game rules to one of our favorite episodes of our favorite show, Supernatural. We recap the episode for you. We let you know how it went. We let you know how the drinking game rules played out. And then at the end, we tell you what's coming up next, so you can play along with the next episode before we record again, or before we publish again, I guess. It doesn't matter to you when we record. It just matters.
We're recording from the
when we
future.
publish. Yes. From the past, usually. Oh, who was that voice chiming in there?
This is Nate McWhortor. I am a person. I am a
good.
regular human bartender. Jackie
You can
Daytona. No, I'm a improviser at the neighborhood comedy theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. And I am also drinking a beer that is a year old, and I think if I didn't know it was a year old, I'd be like, yeah, this beer's alright.
Okay.
So I think that knowing that it's a year old, it's like tainting my perspective a bit.
Well, knowledge is power, Nate.
It is, but it was also all I had. So here we are.
Here we
recording
are.
This, and who am I talking to over there?
Oh, I'm Krissy Lenz, one of the directors over at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. I'm drinking a fairly fresh White Claw.
What flavor?
Of the lemon variety.
A lemon White Claw out of the variety pack number, I believe, 2? Maybe
2 is
3?
correct.
2? Yes. I know my own product so well.
You do. And the White Claws have been getting me through these days.
That's good.
Yeah, I wish I could drink delicious beer still, but it upsets my tum-tum.
What about the, have you done the White Claw Surges?
No, what's that?
They're extra alcohol.
Oh, I've never even heard of them.
They're 8%. Yeah, they're in a blue package.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, and then you have the White Claw non-alcoholic, which
is just LaCroix.
It's a very expensive case of LaCroix.
Yeah.
There are stores that I actually
seltzer water
that it sells, and I just go, who, why?
Someone who
What?
wants to bring it to a party and not be drinking, but not have to answer questions about why they're not drinking.
But then you have to. You're gonna have to answer the onslaught of questions as to why you spent $20 on a 12-pack of LaCroix.
Yeah, I guess so. If people look close enough.
It's a trade-off. Yeah, I mean, you're just trying. I don't know. And I'm a salesman of it, but I don't get it. I don't think a lot of other people get it. Anyway, we're way off track, Krissy.
Oh,
We're
as
way off track.
always.
Dean
As
would
always
not
and
like
ever.
Dean. If Dean knew that non-alcoholic, first of all, if he knew, I mean, they did have where it existed in the time of the seltzer, but not
Mhm.
during its. I mean, kind of Supernatural was the end of like, I don't know. They existed during the boom boom. Anyway, Dean wouldn't
Well,
appreciate a
there's always been
non-alcoholic alcoholic
Zima.
seltzer.
Yeah,
There was
exactly.
always Zima. True. Zima was an FMB though. It was a flavored malt beverage.
Oh, I see.
It was like
and I
Mike's.
suppose a non-alcoholic Zima would just be a Sprite.
Right. That's like they have the non-alcoholic beer companies make like shandies or radlers, which is basically it's shandy is beer and lemonade, and I'm like, isn't that just lemonade? Aren't you just giving us?
It's just
not.
lemonade.
So anyway, non-alcoholic beer. Krissy, we're here to talk about Supernatural, correct?
We are.
All right. It's my episode.
And it's your episode tonight. It's we're back on Chuck Talk. Chuck Watch 2024.
Chuck Watch 2024. Don't vote Chuck 2024. Yeah, and Chuck's barely in this one. But we will talk about Chuck and his role in this and what goes down with him. Because it's continuing our conversation from our previous Chuck file, where the discussion is it do the writers at this point know if he is God, and then is what is happening Chuck fuckery or actual stuff. So that is the ongoing discussion we are having at this moment in time when it comes to Chuck in his role in the universe. And so today's episode is season 4, episode 22, the first Gank That Drank season finale. I'll use a survivor term, in the new era of Gank That Drank.
Yeah.
First season finale we are going to discuss, at least in a very long time, you and I.
I'm excited.
Season 4, which is like almost in line. I think season 3 was where we left off, and so yeah, we're close here. Season 4 finale. This is a vintage episode.
It is.
Gets referenced many times later on, even in jokes about itself. This is an all-timer. This is, I mean, Carry On is at the beginning of it, right?
Yeah.
That just lets you know right away, hey,
we're in a classic.
This is a classic. This is, because sometimes Carry On will be either like the penultimate episode or the second episode of a season, right? Because they like to kind of run those bookends together a lot, like they do in season 4 and 5. So, yeah. I was very excited that this was the episode that we were going to be talking about, because, and then the game, Krissy, the rules, I'm excited to talk about those as well.
Okay, great. Made up by Abby.
Abby, I was like, I handed them over. I handed the old. We have our Gank notebook is an office notebook. It's got all the characters' heads as the tabs they pop out.
Oh, so how cute!
That's our Gank notebook, and so I handed the notebook over to her, and I was like, "Why don't you make the game up this week for this episode?" Because we had just kind of in our watch through, kind of semi recently watched this episode and everything, and since I've also watched the show, I was like, I'm gonna have to watch it again right before we record it. But you know what? I don't want to watch this like 5 times. And how about? I was like, why don't you make the game up? And she always makes really good games too, so I'm excited. And this was a really good one. So here is how
Abby, if you don't know, is Nate's lady love.
Yes, my lady love, my partner, my the cat mom of my dreams.
Yep.
Yeah. And so she helps me out, and she's into Supernatural now, so that's the fun part, is that like we're watching it together, And
slowly but surely we'll convert the world.
yeah, slowly but surely we're making our way through. And that's the other thing is like we're staring down the barrel of getting into some seasons that I know can kind of get a little sticky. And I'm like, oh, all right, we're gonna have to power through some stuff. So,
Yep.
we're not quite to like getting to like Men of Letters yet, but once we do, it's gonna be like, oh, all right.
We've brushed past the Men of Letters a couple of times.
We have. There are some classic episodes in the Men of Letters run for sure. You know, especially like the bunker is so iconic. So like, there's exciting parts of Men of Letters, but like I'm talking about like the later Men of Letters. Like I think the more they get into, and then
The British ones,
yeah, which is like a whole nother. Anyway, we could totally. So let's talk about the rules for this episode. For season 4, episode 22, Lucifer Rising, Yellow Eyes. Anytime we get some yellow eyes, we're taking a drink. We're taking a drink for some Bobby insults, which come fast and furious.
Yep, they're pretty good in this one.
They're like some Ali jabs. Sam drinks blood or uses demon power.
A heavy hitter.
That is a lot. Sammy, as always, a forever rule here on Gank That Drank. An angel or archangel appears or disappears.
Another heavy hitter.
A very heavy hitter. Take a drink for Chuck. Anytime we see Chuck, taking a drink.
Hey, Chuck. What up, Chuck?
Then we're taking a shot or finish your drink for Lucifer and the portal opening. Since that kind of happens at the end of the episode, I think finish your drink is appropriate. If you're looking to continue your night, do a shot.
Great rules for a great episode. Let's hear about it.
All right. So we mentioned Carry On My Wayward Son. We get a big old montage of just like all sorts of stuff. And like, there are a couple drinks that happen in it. We get some yellow eyes. We get some
drinking blood.
Yeah, drinking blood. A whole lot of drinking blood, which just kind of like, you know, take a few drinks during it. Also, I was like, we should have made everything double. It's a carry-on episode. Everything's double. Oh my god, we die. Yeah, it's all. It's too much to I can't recap the recap. It's like a 2.5 minute long recap. It's ridiculous.
Of the whole season.
The whole season of previous seasons. It's a mega recap. So we'll just get right into the thing, and we get a convent. We're at a convent, or we get like some smoke demon into a priest. Then the convent. He's at the convent, and he's telling all the nuns about how good of a time they're gonna have, and they don't.
They have a bad time.
They have a bad time. He says, I'm here for the Father. And it does not explain to us right away. This will end up being revealed, but this is in 1972. So it is not initially told to us. We just think this is happening right now. But yeah, it's real. Whoever they got to play that priest, good job on that actor. I should say whoever, as if I don't have the wiki up and can't read off the actor's name.
He's great.
I will do in a second. Yeah, no, super, super good. Oh, he's not a guest star. That's a bummer. Dominic Laney? Anyway. Yeah, so we get this scene at the beginning that's rather kind of like, oof, a little gruesome. And then he murders all the nuns. And then we get supernatural. Dean and Bobby are having their own kind of BM about Sam and BM. If this is your...
I think his name is Rob LaBelle.
Is it Rob LaBelle? They list 2 for Azazel because they obviously have the one from the previous. Yes, Rob LaBelle. Killed it.
Yep.
Killed it. Super good.
Killed it and killed them.
Killed it, killed them. He's in X-Files, so, you know, he's in the genre.
Yeah. He's one of ours.
He's one of us. One of us. He also is a Monk, Smallville, all sorts of things. You can look him up. Yeah, so we get the Bobby and Dean having their spat over Sam. And this is where all the Bobby insults come in. Especially because he's like trying to placate Dean a little bit at first, and then finally Bobby just erupts, and he's like, "Are you stupid? Are you the? You know what? You're a coward, just like your father." And like,
Yeah.
he's like really riling Dean up. These two
Mm-hmm.
are at each other's freaking throats, and then whoosh, Dean suddenly
Dean's gone.
whisked into a
As he's
room.
staring wistfully out a window.
Yeah. He turns around and Bobby's gone. Bobby's house is gone. And he's in some sort of ornate room with fancy furniture and paintings and golden frames and all sorts of stuff. And
Cheeseburgers piled high.
the cheeseburgers are piled high. The
The
beers look cold,
beers.
and they appear out of nowhere. So we see Sam in this room. We see Dean in that room, and then we cut to Sam and Ruby, who are basically, they're like on the hunt for Lilith. They're trying to figure out, how do we stop Lilith from breaking open the seals? Because of course that's what we learned in the 2.5 minute rundown, is that Lilith is going around breaking all the 65 seals or whatever it is to open the door to Lucifer's cage to let Lucifer out. And so Ruby has been making Sam drink all this demon blood to help like snuff out demons, to try to get to Lilith, to try to take Lilith out. That's been the whole point. It's kind of what we were dealing with in the first Chuck episode, was a lot of Lilith stuff and trying to stop her, right? So we're further on down the road on and the ultimate trying to stop Lilith. And that is what Sam thinks he is doing. But little does he know, he's being, of course, even though everyone else knows it, everyone, literally everyone, every single person on Earth knows this, but Sam, that Ruby is leading him astray, and that what he is doing is bad.
And Ruby at this point is being played by Genevieve Cortez, who will later become Genevieve Padalecki.
Yes. And they're great off each other. And they're so electric. It's very obvious that they are. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's yeah, she's great. She's wonderful. And she does a really good job. Her whole we'll get to her Bond villain speech at the end is fantastic. Yeah. So it's we got that going on. That's basically we're setting that storyline up with Ruby and Sam, and then we're cutting back to the the master, the green room, as Zachariah will call it, and Cass appears, and Deed is like, "What am I
Take a
doing
drink.
here?" Yep. Oh yeah, every time we're this whole room. Every time we see Dean, basically, you're just taking drinks. Every Dean scene,
Yeah,
you're taking drinks, because an angel is either appearing or disappearing, or appearing or disappearing in every Dean scene, because he's in some sort of purgatory, waiting room, heaven style, whatever. Yeah, and that's most of the episode. No, I'm just kidding. It's back and forth just between these two things. I mean, essentially, this is essentially the episode, right? It is Dean in this room, and then it's Sam and Ruby out there, like just
kidnapping
interrogating
nurses.
demons. So we get to this hospital. I think this is like right after. Yeah, we get to the hospital where this demon nurse is like wheeling a baby out, singing it. What song was she singing? Some sort of nursery rhyme, as she just steals a baby, and she's then stopped by Sam, who like demon powers her, force powers her. So take a drink.
Take a drink.
He force pushes her, and he and Ruby are there to like get it, to figure out where Lilith is. So like they take her hostage, they tie her down. Sam starts torturing her like over and over and over. Just take drinks and drinks and drinks. Like we cut back and forth in true supernatural fashion. They're always cutting back and forth between all these things. So yeah, they got that nurse. Meanwhile, back in the suite, you got Cass and Zachariah, who are talking to Dean, saying, "Hey, you just need to hang tight. This is you're gonna wait here. We have a plan for you.
We have to keep you safe." And he's like, "You
safe.
haven't kept me safe this whole time. What the hell?"
He's like, "You've been letting me get my ass kicked all year. why keep me safe now? And like they're both really trying to like, and like Cass is so drinking all the Kool-Aid, and like Dean's trying to be like, Cass, quit drinking the freaking Kool-Aid. And nope. And so Zachariah, I love the line he says, this is the sweet life with Cass and Zach, and neither of them like he's like, they're like, what? And he's like, never mind. But then Zachariah says, you swore you would be obedient, you swore your obedience, so obey. So basically, because Dean earlier on basically said, I'll do whatever you angels ask of me, they're saying, okay, here you go, pay up. Yeah, so Sam and Ruby are back with the nurse, and they're torturing her, and she's like, just kill me. Like, fine, I'll tell you where Lilith is. She's going to be at this convent in Maryland, and like, whatever. And they're like, okay. And Ruby's like, okay, Sam, well, we still need her for demon blood because you need a lot of juice, and like, I'm tapped. And you need to take out Lilith, you got to have the juice. And
which makes me think, how much blood is he drinking? Are we talking pints?
Right? No.
He's taking little licks.
Right. Seems like you can keep a person around. I don't know. I don't know.
And you don't have to kill her unless you're drinking like gallons.
Well,
so,
that's just the thing is like,
is he drinking gallons? He'd be all sloshing around in his belly.
Right. And it seems like he's just been, taking little slurps off Ruby here and there, and like other, like whenever they've killed a demon or like, I don't know. It's the whole drinking demon blood as a device. I just don't. I get the use of it to, drive him to this point in this episode, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it just is strange. It seems like something these guys would never do. Ever.
Yeah, right.
Ever. Like, it was just like a credo, and Sam goes against that so easily. Which is why the fallout from this, right, is like a lot of hunters are like hunting him and are after him. Like, there's a lot of anger at him for doing this.
And they're all like, Gordon was right. Right.
And even like Dean and I mean, there's tons of people don't really forgive him for a long time for this. So, Dean tries to call Sam. And he leaves him what I have written down as a one-man BM voicemail.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Boy melodrama.
Every podcast is someone's first. So while he's leaving that voicemail, Sam and Ruby are torturing this nurse. The nurse is like, or the demon is like, I'm gonna let the nurse take the rails on the whole cognitive thing, and like goes into the back of the mine and lets this poor nurse, who has been possessed by a demon now for who knows how long, come forward, and she has no idea where she is, why she's tied down. And now there's this dilemma. Now Sam is morally conflicted. Do I still drink this demon blood from this person, from this host, from this vessel? And even though like the demon isn't out, it creates this conflict in Sam, and Ruby's starting to get nervous. She's starting to go, oh no, am I not going to get him to the finish line? Because this is really what I need. I need him to get there. I need him to be. Is he going to fall and fumble at the one? Like, what is. She's starting to really, really freak out. So at this point, we get the flashback back to 1972. And this is when we learned it's 1972. So here's our priest. From the beginning, he's all the dead nuns around him, and he's communicating with Lucifer. I actually took a drink for an angel appearing on that, since it is Lucifer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And basically is like, what do I and by the way, the priest is Yellow Eyes. I have completely forgot to mention the priest is Yellow Eyes. So every time this priest has been on screen, we're drinking for Yellow Eyes because it's Azazel,
right?
And
in the body of this priest,
right? So this priest is like, or Azazel's like, what do I do? And Lucifer says, you need to get Lilith, which is like, now you feel bad for Azazel, right? You're like, oh man, this guy, like, it seems like he worked really hard to find the gate and to like get to this point, and then Lucifer's like, no, no, not you.
Not you.
I need someone else. Not why'd it have to be you? So I thought that was funny. Uh, but he says, "You get
Yeah.
me Lilith.
Yeah.
You need Lilith." But Lilith needed to be, because she had to be the one to break the seal. She's the first,
First
right?
demon.
She was the first demon, so had to be Lilith. So the priest, or Azazel, says, "All right, fine. What do you want me to do?" While, because Lilith is in the pit, like, that's gonna be really hard to get her out, and it's gonna take some time. But what do you want me to do in the meantime? And he says, "I need you to find a child, a very special child."
Mm-hmm. Meaning
Easy.
Sam.
Meaning Sam, of course, because Sam is the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam and Ruby, Sam's doing research, finds out that all about this priest in 1972 in this convent, so it checks out that this is probably where Lilith is going to be that night. Cool, now we're on our way, which Ruby probably already freaking knew. So, like,
Yeah. But
why
she's
is
gotta let
Ruby
Sam. She says to him later, "You made all the right choices at
right?
every turn." She's got to lead him to the water, but she can't make him
Right.
drink.
All I did was give you the options. Back in hotel. Uh, wait. I have Sam. Wait, research Sam into. Oh wait. Oh yeah, he puts the nurse into the trunk. That's an upsetting scene.
Yeah, it
I don't
is.
like that at all. It's really upsetting to watch him do that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Because she's like being a person.
right. She's not a demon. Well, she is. There's a demon in there, but it's not outwardly expressive. And Ruby's like, it's probably the demon just being an act, but and even if it's not, there's a hell bitch in there, she says.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back up with Cass and Dean. They're having some more BM, where Dean is like, Cass, snap, wake up, join me, fight, be the resistance. Can't you see these guys are like leading you down a path that you don't even know is the right path? Like, you're just obeying. Like, don't
And
do
he
it.
makes a really good team free will speech where he's like, "You say you want the after the apocalypse is going to be all pain free and peaceful. Well, I'll take the pain if it means I get a choice."
Right. Yeah. Super team free will speech. Really trying to give Cass the like push he needs to do the thing. And he's like, fine, then I'm gonna get out of it. You know, Dean's like, I'm just gonna leave. Through what door? And all of a sudden there's no doors. All sorts of drinks for Angel reappearing in this,
Mm-hmm.
because Cass
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
disappears. Back with Sam and Ruby, they're having their own kind of BM in the car, where Ruby's like, you've got to do it. Like, what do you care about her? You've killed all sorts of demons. Like, what's the big deal? What's the big
They
whoop?
were all humans at one point.
Right. Like, you got to do this to save the world. She's giving him her own pep talk, right? Like, because he's having all these second thoughts. She's like, don't do this. She's so good. Back up in the heaven waiting room, Dean and Zacharias. We get Zacharias' big Bond villain speech, where he basically reveals, we want the apocalypse to happen. Bucko, you're right. We've the scene with Kurt Fuller where he's next to the mirror. Such a cool shot. I love that shot. Like, they just get him with like the mirror, like the forever infinity reflection or whatever. Always love Kurt Fuller as well.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. And so Zachariah's sitting there and he says, like, Sam's got his part to play. You've got your part to play. Like we're holding you because and like, you can't go see Sam. Basically, knowing all this is gonna go down, and it's so good. It's so smug, and angels are dicks, and like, it's just like the
They
perfect.
sure are.
But he gave such a good Bond villain speech. But then basically he gives one of the last lines is like, God, like, basically like, there is no God. Like, we're all out here just doing this on our own. So I find that very interesting for our whole conversation of like, do they really know? Because we will get to Chuck in just a second. Oh yeah, the other line from that whole speech when he's like trying to really convince Dean that this is, you know, what he needs to do, and like he'll be rewarded and it'll be paradise on earth, and he says 2 virgins and 70 sluts.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, some of the lines. This is May 2009 when this episode comes out, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. God has left the building is what he says. So we then see Lilith, and she is taken over. She's at the convent, and then we get a great Dean, another great Dean and Cass like BM scene where Cass finally free actually like Cass basically Cass comes in and frees him, right? So then he does the spell to get rid of Zachariah for a second. So we've got angels appearing and disappearing left and right, just all sorts of craziness. Ooh, I just popped in my head. Oh, what is the line that he says to Dean about someone from season? Yeah, Sophie, do you remember? Someone from season 2 of Gilligan's Island.
Oh, Ginger.
Ginger from season 2 of Gilligan's Island. And Dean like seriously considers it. He's like tempting. And he says, "Well, what is it? We'll throw in Marianne too." We'll throw in Marianne as a bonus. I died. He also like the Marsha reference. Pop culture reference would have been probably a really good rule actually in this game. Stepford wife reference. There was lots of different things. Sorry, I just that line popped in my head. We'll throw in Marianne as a bonus.
Yeah.
Oh man, and just the fact like I loved at Jensen's like just the way he plays that and like the reaction. So funny. So yeah, now Cass gets Dean out. All sorts of big drama. Sam is now like right in front, like really about to take on Lilith, about to not do it, maybe not do it. He decides to listen to his voicemail from Dean, which of course is not the voicemail Dean left him.
It's trickery.
Gosh dang trickery. We get Ruby with her sneaky eyes in the background with a smirk on her face. When Cass and Dean had their whole moment before they escaped, they were talking about how do we don't know where they're at. And Cass is like, I know someone who might. And they go to Chuck, and we get Chuck. Yay, Chuck! Chuck, who is like ordering sex workers.
20
like,
of them.
20 of them. Right? And the woman on the phone is like, I don't think you can afford that. And it's just like, so again, I'm sitting here going like, there's no way they don't think he's God right now.
Of course they don't. They don't know yet.
No, but that's what I think they do.
They don't.
I think they do. I think they're like, if God were this schleppy writer on Earth, what would his life be? And it would be like inexplicably being able to order 20 sex workers with ease and afford it, right? Like that's what he would be like. This writer who he supposedly is would not be able to afford that or do that.
He was like, you only live once, lady.
So anyway, the Cass and Dean appear, take a drink. He's like, what do you guys, no, this isn't supposed to happen. No, what? And he's still on the phone with her. She's like, huh, no, that's supposed to happen. No, but these guys, that's not, huh? We go cut back. It's Sam v Lilith. All sorts of drinks for Sam using demon power because he kills like a bunch of demons, and then he like force pushes her and yada yada yada. Back to Chuck and Cass and Dean, and it's the Archangel, which we remember from the last Chuck episode, that appears whenever Chuck is in danger because they're like starting to threaten Chuck if he doesn't tell them where Lilith is, because they're like, he's gonna know, he's the prophet. And the archangel starts showing up, which again, is it an archangel?
Yes.
No, I don't think it is. Which one would it be? Who would it
I
be?
don't know.
It's not Michael. I think it's Chuck Fuckery. I think he's just makes it seem like there's an archangel that's going to come and protect him in these moments. Because, like, I didn't even think what they were doing was that threatening. Anyway,
It could have been Zachariah.
he's not an archangel.
Well, maybe they were sending the B team.
I just think, I don't know, it's an interesting. But Chuck does have. I thought there was a line in there. Maybe I didn't write it down. I don't know, but I really think that even at this point in time, I think they know that Chuck is going to be God. I really, that is my theory.
I disagree.
That they actually did. So, Sam, we cut back. Sam kills Lilith, and
he hears Dean outside for a fraction of a second.
Right. Yeah, which is where we get a Sammy.
Yeah,
we get a Sammy in there.
We get two because Ruby also calls him Sammy.
Ruby calls him Sammy a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kills Lilith after Lilith says, you've turned yourself into a monster and now you're not going to bite. Lilith obviously trying to egg him on, because the thing that Cass reveals to us when it breaks Dean out from angel jail is that Lilith is the final seal. We can't let Sam kill Lilith. Lilith is the final seal. So, which we, of course, was alluded to in our previous Chuck episode, where Lilith says, I got a feeling I don't survive this one, when she's trying to bargain with Sam, right? This is what she is alluding to, is that she is the one who will be sacrificed to let Lucifer out. So, Sam kills Lilith. Blood starts trickling in a very cabin in the woodsy way.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
And he's like, what happened? And Ruby's like, I can't believe it. You did it, kiddo. You did it. You did all the things. And she gives her big Bond villain speech, which is incredible. She says, like, I did everything. I didn't do anything. You made every choice. I just put the options in front of you. You're the one who drank the blood. You're the one. It wasn't never the demon blood anyway. Like, you just with the Dumbo line, she says, you didn't need the feather. You could fly the whole time, Dumbo. Like, such a good speech. Such a good speech. At that point, at the conclusion of the speech, Dean slams in. Dean, she says it's too late. And he says, oh, what does he say? I forget what he says. But basically, like, I don't care. He says, I don't care. And Sam holds Ruby. Dean stabs Ruby with her own knife.
Yep.
Brum, brum.
Bum, bum, bum. They gank her.
Yep, they gank her. Ruby dies. And the portal starts opening. And we get Lucifer starting to come out. And the boys are now in some trouble. And we all had to wait till September to see what happened.
Yep.
Because that's how things worked.
Yep. We had to wait a long time.
Yeah. So that is season 4, episode 22, the finale, Lucifer Rising.
Yay!
Yeah.
Good job. All right, how did these darn rules play out?
Holy cow. All right, I had 3 yellow eyes.
I had 2.
Okay, I counted the one in, there's one in the then.
Oh, okay. I might have missed that one.
Recap. I got 4 Bobby insults.
I just counted the whole rant as 1.
Got it. I was counting
individuals.
Wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. Sam drinks blood or uses demon power at 12.
I got 10.
Okay.
I probably missed some in the then.
I think the then I just counted as 1.
I was trying to get them all.
Yeah, that's a lot. He does it a lot. Especially with
does.
the nurse. I counted every time they were torturing, like came back to torturing the nurse because they like cut back to it a couple times.
I thought I did too.
I got 3 Sammys.
Okay, same.
Okay. An angel appears or disappears.
13 times.
I have 14.
Okay. I maybe didn't count when they appeared in front of Chuck.
Yeah, and actually, I think it may be 15 because I don't think I counted Lucifer at the end.
Oh, I didn't count Lucifer at the end either.
I got 2 Chuck sightings, one in the van,
Yep.
and then obviously one given. And then our finishing the drink for the portal opening. So 2 heavy hitting rules.
Yeah.
The rest of them were fun. It was it's a great, again, it's like a classic finale. I think there's maybe only a couple other, I think, season finales you could maybe put up with this one. I don't, like this is vintage.
It is like your beer, it's vintage.
It ages well.
Yes.
It's been cellared. If only I was cellaring the beer. It's in a can. If it were a bottle, I would not be drinking this beer. Krissy, what are we doing next, though? Because that was a fun game, but I'm excited for our next one.
Well, like you said, we're in our new era, right? Season 4 is and now we're in season 5 is our new era. We're doing things differently than we did when we first started out. So what I'm going to do is go back and do some of the ones that we've already done in our new genre, because seasons 1 through 3 are now in the members only section. So you have to be a member to get those. So I'm going back to season 1, episode 4, Phantom Traveler.
Okay.
Take a drink anytime there's demon smoke. Take a drink for black eyes. Take a drink whenever they mention dad. Take a drink if they mention or use EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. Take a drink when the boys get new badges. Take a drink when the boys get suited up. Take a drink for EMF detection. And take a drink anytime someone says they're a nervous flyer.
Cool. Now, these are different rules than what we played way back
They
when.
are.
Okay.
They are. When we played way back when, we were playing where you drew them out of a hat. And we each only played 2 rules. And remember, they might not have happened in that episode at all.
Oh, yeah.
So these are way different rules because we're playing it differently than how we were playing it back then.
I do remember those days.
Yeah.
I forgot we used to do that.
Become a member and you can listen to those old episodes.
Listen to us do a drinking game where the rules maybe don't happen.
Where the rules maybe don't happen at all. And we don't really recap the episode, and we play 2 episodes in a show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking around to the end. If you are with us here at the end, we appreciate you so much. Please do all the things that help podcasts to grow and survive. Like, rate, review, subscribe, share with a friend, tell someone you know. We appreciate all of that. And if you want a little bit more, if you want to hear those old archived episodes, if you want to spend a little bit more time with Krissy and Nate chit-chatting at the end of the episode, become a member at True Story FM. Just $5 a month gets you all of that extra fun. Plus, you get the episodes a week early in your own little channel, and you get access to the member Discord where you can chit-chat with us and do all kinds of fun things. So do consider that over at True Story FM. Nate, where can people find us at our comedy show?
They could find us on the stage there. The address is 214 West Main Street in Mesa, Arizona. Which is downtown Mesa, Arizona. We're between Gus's Fried Chicken and Worth Takeaway. Across the street from a soon-to-be opening Pedal House
Beer Garden.
Beer Garden. yeah, come to Downtown Mesa. Check it out. Check out all the stuff, but mostly come to our show. But then, like, check out all the other stuff that goes on in our vibrant Downtown Mesa community.
Yeah.
Even if you're visiting, come check it out.
We appreciate you so much. And when you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things, you know, the family business. Keep the Gank That Drank motto in mind. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. What's up, Supernatural superfans?
It's Nate and Krissy, your hosts of
Gank That Drank, the Supernatural Drinking Game Podcast.
It's the podcast where we make up drinking game rules for a favorite episode of our favorite show, Supernatural.
We recap the episode for you and let you know how all the rules played out.
Then we let you know the drinking game rules for the next episode, so you can play along.
But we want to talk to you today about becoming an exclusive member of Gank That Drank, a Supernatural drinking game podcast.
Becoming a member is just $5 a month. It's easy to do, and it helps keep the podcast going, bringing you more fresh drink to gank. Or gank to drink, whatever.
One of those two. Plus, members get every episode early and ad-free.
With some extra bonus content at the end of each episode as a member exclusive.
We play games, we talk trivia, we chat about what we were watching besides Supernatural.
We talk about our lessons learned from each episode, and sometimes give you a geographical zoom in on the towns or areas the episodes take place in.
We have fun! Ha 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 ha. And we gank those drinks, and we want you to be a part of it.
So join us and become a member at truestory.fm/Gank That Drank.
And when you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things,
you know, the family business.
Keep the Gank That Drank motto in mind. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.